Welcome to the Pretty Red Ent Show. It's your girl, Goddess Naquita, aka Pretty Red Ent. And if nobody told you they loved you today, just know that Goddess Naquita, she loves you today. And I'm sending so much love and light out to all the lovers. Okay, it's juvenile season, babies, for them twin flames. Okay. I don't know, guys. This episode is gonna be called "Keeping It 100." Like, cause so many times people don't know what this actually means and what it sounds like, and it's so crazy because I was talking about this on Snapchat. Somebody's like, "Oh, you should make this a episode on the podcast." I like the way you said that, like, and I feel like you can elaborate more on it. So, let me talk to y'all real quick. When people say they keep it at 100, I'll be like, "Do you really? Like, do you really?" You feel me? Or do you really? You know what I'm saying? Like, people who are like 100 and really believe in like the things that they do, the things that they say, like the way they move, you gonna know they 100. You feel me? I can't be no more than 100 and no more less than 100. Prime example, right? You get all these people who do crazy things and say crazy things about you or whatnot. And mind you, they don't even know if they 100 or not. Because some people are not able to be honest with themselves. So that means they're not 100 already with themselves. So if you expect them to be 100 with you, then you are putting something on them that they're not capable of doing. Okay? I had to get that out. Like, I would never, if I notice a person is not 100 with their self, I would never be upset if they're not 100 with me. And people were like, really? Like, no, I cannot be upset if they're not 100 with themselves. How can I put that obligation on them if they can't even do it for themselves? This is kind of like if you're picking a Mortal Kombat character and they say, oh, this person, they're, you know, who they are is at least 90. How can I expect them to be 100 if it's only, say they are only capable of being 90? I will never put an obligation on something that somebody would never be capable of doing. I only can charge you to the game for who you are. Okay? Like, period, point blank. Guys, I know I came in shooting them bullets real quick, but I had to come in here and say this because you got to really listen to what people are saying and how they are moving, guys. Like, I'm a person... I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to the things that you do not say, the things that you say, and the stuff that's in between. And I also pay attention to the stuff that you don't know. I view you as naked. So when you start to hide, I can see under there, like, why do you got all this on? And that's not 100. Now you about down to 50. Okay, so first you was at 90. Now you about at 50. Like, you hide in your hand. Like, I don't really deal with people who are not 100 with their self. Like, that will bother my spirit, my soul, my mind. Like, I'm just like, that's too much. I can't trust you. I don't want to be around you. We're not going to have a conversation. I might be cordial, but we will not talk about anything personal with my life or anything I might got going on. Because why would I keep it 100 with you? You're not even keeping it 100 with yourself. Sometimes in order to be 100, you have to be 100 with yourself. 100 with yourself can be like, where are you at in life? What is it that you really want to do? If you cannot keep that 100 with you, how are you going to expect me to think that you 100 with me? Like, no. I can see that you are going through a mental battle or an internal battle within yourself. And sometimes people put this obligation on other people. Prime example, my Virgo moon people. They're natural walking psychologists. Okay. So when people come up, they start talking to them about their problems. They give out some really good advice because this is what they're naturally able to do is analyze emotions. Okay. They're just really good at it. Like, out of every zodiac, out of every moon sign, Virgo moon sign is very, very good at analyzing emotions. That's what Virgos do. They analyze everything. So this is their moon sign. They're tapped into their emotions. And when they're tapped into their emotions, they can analyze it and they can get over, they can help you do that. But sometimes it's internal. But once they learn how to cope with the internal, they actually go out and they're able to do it at a better high pace, but they're able to see their friends' stuff. And I'm not talking about Virgo suns. I'm talking about Virgo moons. Two different things. Okay. But guys, like I be listening to people talk so much all the time. They're like, I'm 100. Like I stand on business. What business is you standing on and that you ain't standing on with yourself? If I see that you're not moving, you're not jumping for yourself, how can I expect you to jump for me? That's setting up an obligation for one, me to be highly upset at you, and two, a waste of time. Time, energy, space, and love. Like I don't have time for that. I'm telling y'all, sometimes you have to be more about you than you are than anybody else in this world. And this is the important time of like the life of, are you for you? Are you standing on you or are you not standing on you? Okay, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm one of them people that, hey, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. It is what it is. And we cannot do anything other than that. Like, I'm just going to let it be. Let it be, let it be. Okay, I'm just going to let it be. Like, I don't really have time for that. You don't want to be 100? Fine. That's great for you. But just because you're not 100 does not mean I'm not going to be 100. And I think this is the thing that needs to be talked about. Okay, so shots fired for real. I know I came in blazing, but I was literally talking to a person maybe a few years ago. One of my exes was talking to me and me and him was talking it out. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess he had a moment, an epiphany moment. And he was like expressing this love to me. And I was like, I was always 100. I told you what I wanted, how I wanted it. I gave you my time, which was 100. I didn't give you 90. I gave you 100%. I showed you what it would be like to be with me every single day. Now, what did you show me? And then he was like, well, I was just this bad person. I didn't give you enough time. I didn't do what I needed to do for you. Like, I really should have like been there for you. And I see that I messed up. Right. And I was like, well, I was always 100. I was always like authentically me. So the fact that you feel like, okay, you want to come in now, you want to apologize, which is fine. I'm grateful for that. But if I did my healing work, means I already apologized for you. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm a person, I do real healing work. I don't play. And people who know me, who did healing work with me, they be like, that girl doesn't play. I do not play when it comes to healing work. I do not play about me, my emotional state, my mental health, none of that. I'm so protective over me, but I'm also so healing and forgiving. Like, I already forgave you, bro. Your forgiveness is just extra. Like, I already got the forgiveness, all of that. Whoop. I'm good. Now, the problem with this is when he was talking, he went through a moment where he was saying like, well, he could have did better. And I was like, that's fine. And I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And he was like, but you did. I said, what did I do wrong? I gave you my time. That's what you wanted. 2, I showed you what it was going to be like being with me. I also like, you know, like I did my 1-2 step with you. Like I told you, I showed you everything of who I am and what I want as me. I showed you who I am as a woman. And a woman that wants to be in a relationship. Because you got to want to be there. You feel me? Like, hey, like, what are you trying to do? I'm not flowing for no reason. I'm not flowing if I don't know where I'm going to. That's just period. But it was so crazy that he was just like, I was like, do you expect me to apologize? I apologize for being me the whole way through. I apologize for showing you what it would be like to be my man. Because obviously you're not my man. And so this is a sometimes thing too, guys. Like when you're out here dating, I want to stress this fact. When you're dating people, you're inevitably giving them a version of who you are as a person in a relationship to the point where if they like you or not. Okay. So it's like, what I mean by that is like, when I go out on dates, when I used to go out on dates, when I used to go out on dates, I used to sit there with people and I used to be like looking to see like, okay, can I vibe with this person? I remember my one friend was like, I gotta be high. I was like, why you always go on your dates high? She's like, cause if I'm If I'm high and I could be around this person, we gonna vibe. But if I'm high and I can't be around this person, we ain't gonna vibe. So I'm not even gonna go there with this person at all. And I thought about that, like, dang, maybe she is making a little bit sense when it comes to that, because like if I can't be around you in my mental state of how I get down, like personally, then I don't need to be with you, because this is who I am as a person. I don't want to be anything else other than the person that I am now. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm always a person where I always get the rep for what you see is what you get. Like, that's crazy. Like, I never met too many people that, like you talk to talk, you also walk at it. Like, you really walk at it. And I'm like, cause I'm me. I'm not gonna change me for nobody. I do not care. Like, and especially like now, I really don't care. Like, I used to care about people's feelings and stuff like that. Like, oh, I didn't used to let my spiritual side come out, like who I really am with that part. But everything else is me. The only part that's new that people are now seeing is the spiritual part, which was always there. I just never really brung it. Only certain people seen that. Now everybody see it. I don't care, because I like this. I love the version of me that is not toned down for nobody. Like, I like me, I'm spiritual. Any conversation might turn spiritual talk. Any conversation might turn to love talk. Any conversation might be a healing conversation, and I'm okay with that. So if you want to have a conversation with me, you have to know that I'm willing to go anywhere in a conversation. But baby, please remember, I'm on a love frequency. So guess what? We're going to be on a frequency of love. So I'm always 100 when it comes to my love. I don't play no games. I really love me to the point where I'm able enough to like love somebody else. I'm able enough to like love me in a position to be soft with it and not care. Like, I love the fact that I've loved so deeply. I do not care. I like that I talk about my feelings freely. I don't care. I love that. It makes me happy. It brings me so much joy. And so I can't accept anything less than that. And I really hope the fact that some of you really don't accept anything less than that either. You get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be 100 with yourself. Like, what is it that you really want? Because some people out here, they really don't want nothing at all. Like, and that's what I'll be like, don't waste my time, baby. I gotta make sure that people not wasting your time, either your friends, your family members, all of them. Don't waste my time. What do you really want? Sometimes people come in like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? What do you want? Like, bro, you don't never call my phone. What do you want? Well, I just want to, okay, baby, you want to talk to me? You're going to have to pay me. Because at this point, I'm not your counselor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counselor. Yes, so baby, you're going to have to pay me, because you can't keep just calling me, dumping all your trauma on me, because I just don't like that. That's a lot of energy. I don't mind giving energy when it's needed, but every single time you call me, it's a problem. Baby, what's up with you being 100? It's so funny. Like, I can't get over this. I heard it the other day on TikTok. I was scrolling, and it was just like, I'm staying on business. I keep it 100. Like, are you keeping it 100? What have you not done for yourself that you should have? Like, where could you have been honest with yourself a little bit more compared to what you really wanted to do? A lot of people don't do that. It's so funny, because I was just telling somebody the other day, I was like, man, I'm so honest with myself. Like, I really be asking those questions that really get on people's nerves. Like, man, like, but why? Why you want to do this? Like, I ask those, like, why? Why? And once I asked like the fifth why, I'm like, all right, I got the answer for real. Because it's like, but I typically don't have to do that. I'm really so in tune with me to the point where I just don't, I love me enough for the both of us and for all of us. And I'm just like, some stuff I'm over it. Some stuff I ain't. But some stuff I really be chilling for real. Like, I really be chilling. And I don't know, like, the other day I heard that somebody said, they asked, like, what's a 100 person? Somebody mentioned my name. And I was like, what? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And this person, because I got to call this person a person because they a person. And this person was like, when it comes to like something that you say, you mean that. Like, you don't deteriorate from that. Like, even if it's an opinion you gave, Like nobody can make you change your opinion. They might come with facts and stuff, which I feel like you're a logical person when it comes to that. You put the logic and the feelings and emotions in it, and then you make sense of certain stuff that certain people couldn't see because they're using logic, but you can use emotions. And you add that combination, and that's like, whew, that's a dangerous combination, but it's 100 though. Like, and you stand on that. Like, you always stand on what you are and the things that you stand by. Like, I know that if you don't like, because I don't eat ham, right? So he was like, I know if there's a table full of ham, I know that you're not going to go over there and eat no ham. And the only way you eat some ham is if you dead ass hungry, which means that you've been hungry for 24 hours or more than that. But I can't see you not eating no ham because you don't eat no ham. And I was like, facts. And this person was like, you taught me how to really be real in situations where it could be tough. People don't know that. Being real in situations where it is tough is the real key to any relationship, any friendship, anything that really matters. And people be like, what do you mean by that? Prime example, right? When you talking about certain things and you talking about people and how people move. Imagine you moving so foul, you doing me dirty, you bad mouthing me. You talking about me behind my back. I literally had my peoples, my cousin. Now, mind you, I've been done got confirmation like maybe 7 years before my cousin told me a certain person was speaking ill on me, right? But I never bothered because I'ma still be 100 to you. Like, I don't know what the deal is. You ain't expressed it to me. Because every issue I ever had with you, I told you to your face. It's not that you heard from Sam, Joe, and Billy. You heard that from me. So that's keeping it 100. Like, hold on. Like, let me tell you, like, but I was always a person where if I had an issue, even if I'm out with one of my friends, right? And I had an issue with something that they did, something they said, I was never a person to blow up a scene. That's just not my thing. Even though I'm an Aries, it depends on what they said and what they do is when I will blow up a scene. But if it's some stuff like I can just ha ha he he, I'm gonna check you a little bit later. I'm gonna talk it. Me and you gotta check in a little bit later. And I like, hey, you know what? I just didn't like that. Like, let me tell you. And then because a lot of my friends, my old friends know that I'm real sensitive. Like my old friends know I'm really sensitive. My new friends already knew I was sensitive. So, but my old friends, they already knew I was sensitive, but sometimes they do certain things to show off in front of other people. I don't ever switch up my tempo. Like, baby, like, this ain't sex. If this was sex, I'll switch up a tempo, baby, all the time. But this is not sex. This is real life. This is me dealing with someone. I have respect. If I did something to you, I would hope the fact that you would mention it to me, like, hey, I didn't like that you did that. But if it's at something that at an event or something, like I would never do that sometimes, not unless it depends on what it is. Like, but now I mentioned it right then. I'm like, baby, we ain't gonna skip this, but you know what? I don't want to talk about it. I remember a person just caused the whole scene before my birthday. And I'm like, bro, listen, anything that you think, you might think that I'm slow, but baby, I'm well seasoned over here, okay? Well seasoned. I'm a little light, but baby, I'm seasoned though. So the stuff that you pulled, I'm used to people doing that. And I will not let you steal my joy. I don't even want to talk about what we talked about the day before. Today, my day. Let me be. Because if it was your day, I wouldn't even talk to you about any issue that we even had until the very next day. That's the type of person that I am. I can't expect you to be who I am. I only can expect you to be who you are, truthfully. But it ain't me. I'm 100. Like, hey, like, I want people to treat me how I treat them. Like, hey, you know what? It's your day. We'll talk about it a different day. I remember I was so hurt at a person's wedding. Guys, like, this is some real, like, let me tell y'all what's 100 for real. Like, this is 100. I was supposed to be this girl's maid of honor, right? Mind you, everybody there, even the girl's other best friend was like, I thought you was going to be the maid of honor. I would be okay with not being a maid of honor if it was you. Like, y'all relationship is beyond this moment. And I was like, yeah, well, I thought I was too, but I kind of got shocked when I wasn't the maid of honor. And then you got everybody's family coming in there. So this is 100. I told a person that, mind you, this is my days when I used to pop pills and stuff. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Some crazy stuff happened to me. So I'm like, gosh, like I popped a few pills. I was up for a few days, rolling. And I ain't slept in but 2 days. So I was up. Not gonna lie. And this is me being all the way real with y'all. So I was up, and make a long story short, I ended up going out on a date with this guy. Okay. This guy he's been stalking me for like 3 months straight. Like, not even stalking me, but just like persistent. Like, I really want to date you. We'll do a whoop. I was like, I got rules. I got standards when it comes to me and guys and this and that. And he really he went out his way. Like, he bought me tickets. He paid for me to come to him. All of this, like some exclusive stuff. So I was kind of happy about that. Mind you, old girl's wedding was literally supposed to be like a month or two away. I get a phone call or a text message just saying, hey, my wedding's tomorrow. What? Why am I the last person? And then I got kicked out the wedding group because I was like, okay, well, I'm the maid of honor. Like, I came in there like, we'll do a whoop, skip. And I was like, oh, and to find out that I wasn't, I was like, okay. But then I was like, I don't, like, what happened? Well, you want to, certain people didn't want to wear certain stuff that she wanted. Baby, my toes is pretty. I can, okay, like, my toes is pretty. They edible. Okay, like, no lie. They real edible. So, make a long story short, like, people was coming for me. I came back. I served, I always do. I stand on me when I got to. Make a long story short, I told this person, I said, I don't know if I can make your wedding. You're putting me in a predicament. Like, I just started. This dude just bought me tickets to where he's at, and we're going to a concert. Like, he's spent some money, it's non-refundable. We'll do a whoop. I really wish that you would have told me earlier. Not saying that I wasn't going to come. I'm just like, you put me in a predicament where that's not fair to me. Which it wasn't. Now, the whole situation was fucked up. Like, and I have to say it like that. I'm so sorry for cussing, but it was really messed up, guys, for me. Like, as a person, you look at it from my window, you be like, dang. I'm like, but everybody else knew that she moved the date maybe 2 or 3 months before I found out. So I'm kind of upset because why I got to be the last person to know? I was like, all right, cool. I was like, but I was like, bro, I don't really know if I'm going to come. Like, let me talk it over with him. But I was still going to come. So I called him. He was like, hey, she with the game, bro. Like, I'm okay with you going to her wedding. Just see me afterwards. Like, a matter of fact, what I would do to make it easier for you, I will leave where I'm at and I will come to what's closer to you. And I was like, all right, cool. But I still was trying to spin him. So you don't understand something. I was really trying to spin him for real. But I really was going to go to the ticket stuff. But I was really like, I don't know what I was trying to do. But I was trying to spin him. But I liked him because I like persistence. Okay, like you gotta. So Aries people, we love persistence. We like consistency. We like to see the effort that you put in to actually be with us, talk with us, all of that. So, long story short is, I was looking for a car because this is right after I had like one of my moments when I woke up. And I'm like, all right, I was looking for a car. So all day long, I've been searching for a car because that's why I was up for 2 days straight. So I popped pills so I could actually find me a car because I'm like, okay, my car is not here anymore. Like, I need to find a new car. Like, I got this money. I'm trying to not spend this money. I'm trying to get me a new car. Make a long story short, I was like, what would make her think? I never said I wasn't coming to the wedding. I just said, let me call him real quick to have a conversation to tell him like, like it's your wedding and stuff like that. Never said that I wasn't going to come. I said I was calling him to have a conversation. Come to find out, I get there at the time that she tells me that the wedding starts to take place. Nobody's there. Mind you, I show up 5 minutes late and I was like, wait, sorry, I wasn't dressed. I had other stuff that I had to do. So I wasn't dressed for no wedding. Like I came in, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come as I go. Like it was just a moment where I was not like top notch me. I feel like I'm top notch. Everybody else, they love me. But so I get there. Mind you, nobody's there. The person who's supposed to marry them's not even there. So I started to talk to some security guards. I was like, hey, like my people's supposed to be, they're supposed to be getting married right now. Guys like, what? Ain't nobody supposed to get married today. I was like, I got told there's a wedding here today. It's going to be a wedding here today. Now, mind you, that's what your maid of honor is supposed to be there for. Your maid of honor's not even there yet. Like, but I'm here. And I'm asking questions like, where's the person that is supposed to be marrying you? Woo. Next thing I know is her people's come in and was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, nothing else. Like, I just got this dude. They finna call the people up here to marry them because they was finna leave and close this up. And I was like, nah, I'm here for a wedding. They got me messed up. And they was like, thank God that you were here because we all came late. Okay. Like, I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, cool. So I'm like, all right. Next thing I know is her people's asked me like, so you the maid of honor? I'm like, nah, I'm actually not. They was like, what? Like her people's look at me like, what? I'm like, right, that's the same thing I said. I was like, but hey, it's her wedding. I'm a person where, hey, I ain't finna ruin your wedding day. I'm not about to do that. Like, I'm just not, that's not my cup of tea to be that rude and nasty. Like, this is your day. Like, whoever you want to walk down the aisle is who you want to walk down the aisle. I just know that where me and you stand at from this point moving on. Like, I know how this is because we have always talked about me being the maid of honor of your wedding. And now your wedding's here and now I'm not. So I'm like, all right, cool. But your maid of honor's she should have been doing what I'm doing. Okay, so you got to pay attention to what I'm doing. So I'm keeping it 100. I'm staying 100. Like, okay, like, girl, I know I'm supposed to be the maid of honor. But if I was the maid of honor, I would have been here before you would have been here. I would have made sure everything was straight before you even got in the building, which I was already doing, which was not my job. Now, I could have played my part and not said anything, not asked any questions. I could have been like, hey, I'm just here for a wedding. Oh, okay, there's no wedding today. I could have turned around and walked in my car and got in my car. Right? But instead, I started asking questions because that's what type of friend I am. I'm going to still be 100 no matter what. So we get there. Her other best friend show up. Like, hey, girl. Like, hey. It's like, oh, okay, we ready for it. I'm like, where is she at? She always late. Like, I know she's always late, but this is one person that I know that used to be in my life that it is always late. If I could bet $1 million about somebody that's going to be late, I would call her. I will win every time. So make a long story short is she ended up coming. And when she seen me, she was shocked to see me. But mind you, as everybody's starting to walk into this wedding, everybody has on a particular color. I didn't get told that everybody was supposed to wear the colors of the wedding. I didn't even know what the colors of the wedding were because our dresses wasn't even the color of what we were doing at this wedding right now that we had planned and set up. So now I'm kind of like, okay, so everybody else is dressed like they're here participating in this wedding, but I'm in all black. Why? Like, why didn't I get told to be dressed? Like, you called me to tell me about a wedding, but you didn't call me to say, hey, I'm telling everybody to wear this color, so make sure you wear this color. You didn't call to tell me that. How insulting is that? Like, you don't care about me as a friend enough to keep it 100 with me. Like, this is what I want you here, but please be in this. Like, that's like you coming to a party and everybody's dressed up, but the person who invited you didn't tell you how to dress. And you're like, okay, well, are you either overdressed or you underdressed? It's insulting. Because why did you invite me and not tell me what everything I need to do? So make a long story short, guys, because this is a real true story. Like no cop, no fake thing. Like, and this person, if they listen to this, they gonna know it's real and they know it's about them. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there. Next thing I know is her husband come in and he look at me. He's like, sis. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, I'm happy you here because she was talking hella shit. ASAP. Like, my nigga sat up there and told me ASAP. He was like, she was talking hella shit, talking about she don't understand why you wouldn't be at her wedding. We'll do it. Bro ran it down to me. Like, but see, me and him know each other from different ways of how we just know each other differently compared to how I know her. I'm like, really? He was like, nah. He's like, I told her you was too 100 not to be here. He's like, I told her you was too 100 not to be here. I was like, oh, okay. She looked at me. She's like, dang, I didn't think you was going to come. I said, really? Why would you think I wasn't going to come, bro? Like, you part of the gang. Like, you feel me? Gang. Like, I support you. Like, like, I'm happy. I prayed. I slapped a prayer down for you to find this man that you've been looking for. You found him after we prayed, bro. Like, what? No. Yes, ma'am, you don't think I was going to be here? Like, there's nobody's speech at this wedding that is better than mine. Nobody's. That's why I should have been a maid of honor. Imagine your maid of honor speech. Her speech is like, oh, this is that. I'm like, but we prayed months before you even met this girl. We prayed for you to meet him, bro. Y'all ain't been apart since. So we prayed. I prayed for that. You prayed for me. I don't know if it was real or not, but I actually prayed for you, and we walked and we talked and I prayed. So I feel some type of way about everything. So, I mean, that's just being real. So make a long story short, guys. So I'm crying at the wedding. Then next thing I know is like, we're taking pictures. Cause now the guy, she's waiting for the photographer to show up. The photographer that showed up is my guy though. Like he must, I feel like God and my angels always has somebody around me if people trying to be funny. But this particular guy, he took me, we used to go to the same college, and he took me out on a date before. It's really funny, but he's like cool people. He seen me, he was like, what's up with my baby? I was like, what's up? And then we were starting to talk about like our college and different things like that and our degree. Like, cause I don't know if he finished and got his degree or not, but we were just talking. I was like, well, I'm happy like you doing this picture thing, like, cause it's working for you. So he started taking pictures, and I noticed that the pictures that I was in, he made me look good as heck. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. I looked so, but like he took some pictures of me that like, he just caught moments, like, cause he really liked me. Like me and him, like, yeah. But we just went on one date. But me and him, cool peoples for real. So I was like, all right, cool. Cause I was telling my people's who wedding was, I was like, girl, he went to school with us. Like, she's like, really? I was like, yes. So I was like, girl, he went to school with us. We'll do a whoop. Make a long story short, guys. He comes late. So they're waiting. So mind you, everybody's there is waiting. Now they're waiting on the picture guy to come. So the picture guy gets there, comes late, takes pictures. So it comes time for the signing, because now she didn't have like a formal wedding. She got married at a courthouse, right? So now comes time to sign, like, the little paper. You got to have a witness. She calls this girl. Me and her best friend look at each other. Her best friend walk out heated. She's like, I wouldn't be mad if it was you. Like, I don't even know this girl. Like, why? Who is she? Like, why is she? Like, you know what? That's right. You're right. So I'm like, all right. So she's like, yeah, we finna go eat after this. I'm like, all right, fine. So I waited for her to leave and everything. Stand on 100. We go stand up there to take pictures. Now, do have us stand up there to take pictures. Next thing I know, so it's me, her, and her other best friend. She's like, I just want y'all to know that y'all both dated the same man. I'm like, what? Like, why would you say that on your wedding day? And two, I don't care if we dated the same person. We ain't dating him at the same time. I don't care. I'm minding my business right now. I'm here for you. I canceled a date I really wanted to go on. I really didn't want to come to the wedding, but I came because I support you and I love you. I want you to know that I'm always 100. But I really didn't want to come. Like, cause it was just off, like, for me. Like, you didn't tell me anything. Look how everybody else is dressed for your wedding, but I'm not dressed to match your wedding. Like, come on now. Like, she gonna look at me and say, I know there's some things that you want to say. I was like, no, this your day. I'll talk to you about it a different day, just not today. And she's like, oh, well, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it today. Like, we will talk about it a different day, but just not today. Today, your day. You're a married woman. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. We'll do what we'll. So next we go to this place where we're supposed to go eat at. I don't even know the place of the name we went to go eat at. So now I'm sitting there because I really want to cry, right? And I'm also like rolling on a bean, so I can't even lie. Like, I'm rolling. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, I'm ready to go. I'm hungry, but I can't eat. But I'm in my feelings, but I can't cry. Like, it was like I had so many mixed emotions to the point where, like, people still kept insulting me. So mind you, I was the first person to get at this courthouse where she were getting married, and I was the last person to leave. The first person there, the last person to leave. That was your maid of honor job. That's not mine. Why am I doing other people's jobs? This is because I'm 100 to me. I don't care if you ain't 100 to me at all, because she wasn't 100 to me at all. Okay, she was being funny, all that, all that, sneak this and that. You wasn't 100 to me in this situation. I was 100 to you. So we get to the thing. I walk in, I'm saying like, all right, well, I'm finna buy shots. I buy myself a shot, buy her a shot. I was like, I'm only buying shots for the people house I stayed in, which was her husband's mama, her husband and his mama. And his mama's girlfriend. Like, I don't know if they was girlfriends or not, but that's the dude that I used to date. That's his brother. So I was like, I'm buying shots for them. So I went and bought shots for them, and I stood there. I was like, what's going on? Why we ain't, sitting down eating? Like, this table should have been reserved, which it was reserved. The problem is that her maid of honor got there before her and before anybody else, and the table still was not reserved. So you mean to tell me that you did not sit down at this table? Somebody just got married. Nobody else would be able to sit at a table that was reserved for my, if I was the maid of honor, it wouldn't have been me. So I'm like, what's going on with the table? So I was like, you know what? I told her straight up. I said it just like this. And I promise to God, I said it just like this. And there's no cap, it's no sneak diss or like no shade to her or anything. I said, bruh. I said, now, if I was your maid of honor, we wouldn't be standing right here right now. She's like, I know. I said, right. So I'm going to let you deal with your own mess until I get tired enough to actually start speaking up, which was true. Because I'm like, all right, cool. So, girl, make a long story short, y'all, we stood there for about another 35 minutes. You know me, I'm like, I'm ready to go. But I look over her, I see that she a little sad. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, where's the table at that we were supposed to be sitting at? So I'll go up there. I start getting business taken care of. I say, where's the table we supposed to be sitting at? They sit over there. So I went over there and stood by the table until these people left. Next thing I know, the lady looked at me. She's like, is your name Naquita? I was like, yeah. She's like, my name's Mary. Mary with the sticky feet. Your mama friend. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I remember you. Hi, Miss Mary. I was like, y'all, I was like, my people's, because I called her my sister at the time. I was like, my sister over there, she got married. And this was her table. And they gave her table away to y'all. She's like, what? I didn't know that. She's like, matter of fact, we're finna get up and leave. Because other than that, we would have just sat here talking. They literally got up, stood up, and left. And the lady gave me a hug. Look at the coincidence of that. Look how the universe works. What was the universe telling her? What was God even telling her at that time? You feel me? And I just think about it at a time like this, and I'm like, all right, so we sit down, everybody get their food. I order some food, even though I didn't want to eat. I ordered some food, mind you. Where I really wanted to sit at was with her husband and his mama and them, because I know them more than anybody at this table. I've been knowing them since I was like real young, but at different times that she know them. But so mind you, I sat down there by her and started her and her maid of honor. And I was like trying to be nice to the maid of honor. I was like, hi, how are you doing? Like, very rude and nasty to me. I'm like, what's wrong? What's the issue? I don't even know you. You don't even know me. What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? You right. Next thing I know is everybody's food came out but mine. I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is God showing me. Then when my food came out, it was half done. I'm like, man, I can't even eat this. Like, she know how picky I am with my food. Like, baby, if it ain't done, I ain't eating it. So I was already mad. I was like, you know what? I'm finna go. I love you. And I told bro, like, I love him too. Like, I'm proud of y'all. Like, y'all both wanted each other. Y'all got each other. And I'm happy that maybe I was a step stool for y'all to get each other. But I'm ready to go. So I literally left and drove in Indiana to the nap. I went to the nap and kicked it with my guy friend. Like, he was somewhere deep in Kentucky, and he left to come over there to Indiana to meet me, to hang out with me. And I was like, gosh. And I told him what happened. He was like, dang. Like, he's like, you too 100 for that. He was like, you ain't say nothing to her. I was like, nah, because it's her day. I ain't about to ruin her day just to be a jerk. Like, she would have did that to me, though. She would have tried her best to ruin my day. But just because somebody do that to me don't mean I have to do that to them. Like, I'ma still remain 100 the whole way through. So when me and her got a chance to really talk about things, we both cried it out. And I was like, it is what it is. Like, I feel the way I feel, and you can't make me feel any different than that. I was already feeling this way, but you proved it to me when you got married. And that's fine. And I'm like, I can't take this form of disrespect. Now, do I forgive myself in this whole situation? Yes. I overextend my 100. Well, I should have just left. I should have never showed up. If I already knew that you was acting funny, you was moving funny, I should have never showed up. If you didn't tell me about it because that's how I really felt. This is how I really felt in that moment. I was like, bruh, she should have told me in advance. I would have came and she would have told me in advance. I'm an in advance person. I might got other things going on. And I really wanted to go out on this date with this dude. And he spent like $700 on these tickets. And he ended up finding somebody by the grace of God to buy these tickets for him. And then he came and met me. And like, I don't know how to, I'm just all right with that. But I cried my whole way from driving from Cincinnati to the Nap. It took about an hour. We're going to say it took about an hour and 25 or 40 minutes, but I'm going to say it took about an hour. And I cried. Like, you feel me? A lot of people don't know, like, bro, like I was 100 to a person that was never 100 to me. How you think I feel right now? They did not value me as a person, value me to even be in a presence, didn't even like, at some point, like if I would have seen somebody even being rude at my wedding, I would have been like, stop, don't do that. Don't do that on my day. You better talk to this person at my time. Like, if you here at my wedding, whether y'all like each other or not, y'all better speak. Because it's my wedding. You got me all the way messed up. But to actually experience that was like horrible. But I don't even feel bad for myself, because that just means that I didn't allow a situation to change me. And this is like the whole purpose of really telling this story. Is like, no matter what, I was always 100. Like, I'm not overextending myself. The problem is that I've been knew that she was moving the way she did, but to actually experience it at her wedding, I should have never went to her wedding. No disrespect. I was happy that I was there and that maybe I was like her, her person that she was just happy to see there, but I should have not went to her wedding. No funny business, no nothing. It was just like, hey, you were already moving this particular way. Why did I have to experience this at your wedding? So now I'm a laughing stock. Like, you feel me? Like, why did I have to sit up here and cry that you didn't treat me right at your wedding? So I had to experience some things to be able to be comfortable with things that I'm not able to be comfortable with. But now I'm more in a different position for myself, and even around everything else I got going on. I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. I ain't even mad no more. I'm happy that you're happy that what you did was great. Like, I'm happy that you got what you wanted. Like, but I will not accept that like ever in my life ever again. And I'm okay with that. But guys, like, I will never change who I am to make somebody else better. And like I told her, like when me and her did talk, I said, now, if this was me getting married, the tables would have been turned. You would have been throwing chairs at my wedding. You would have ruined my whole wedding. But I didn't do that to you because I wouldn't want you to do that to me. I treat you the way how I want to be treated, which is be 100 with me. But don't ruin my day. Like, if you didn't want to show up, you shouldn't have showed up. But see, that's the problem with me, is that I always showed up for people, even if I knew that they weren't always that good. And I'm okay with that, guys. Like, I'm telling you, like, but the problem with this is that when you go to do that healing work, okay? Like, you be like, you know what? I'm 100 too much in everybody's life. You're like, what? What do you mean you two 100 in everybody's life? You can never be more than 100 in somebody's life, but you can't. Like, I feel like I was 100 in people's life who did not deserve that. You weren't even giving out even 50. You gave out 10. And I gave out you out 100, baby. Nah, I'm gonna need change, baby. You gonna owe me about 90. So I can't function around people who not giving themselves 100, who not giving everybody 100 around them. I can't keep functioning to help people be successful if they're not doing the same for me. If you're not showing up for me in my life, I cannot show up for you in your life. Like, granted, I done did a lot of things for a lot of people in the past, and I don't regret a moment of that. But I bet you one thing for sure, one thing's for sure, and two things for certain. They will never find a real friend like me ever again. And that's okay. And a lot of people, like, yes, I'm cocky with it. I'm telling you, people I have not been friends with for a very long time, when I see them again, and it comes to speaking, and sometimes people hug me, they be like, I just want to tell you, like, I'm so sorry I didn't appreciate you when you were in my life. Like, I never knew what a real friend was until you came in. And then once I started experiencing other people, it was just horrible. And I didn't have that conversation with a few people, but you know what? I can't keep making excuses for you. You know what it is to be a good friend. You know exactly what it is, but you know what? You chose not to be. And so that has nothing to do with me. That's a you problem. So that's something that you have to deal with, something you have to heal, something that has nothing to do with me. And I'm okay with that. And so I'm at a point now in life where I'm happy, I'm loved, and I'm just vibing high. And I will not accept anything less than 100 and the less than what I deserve. Oh, I even noticed you even moving foul is over with. I even noticed that you even say one thing, bro, that is not in alignment to what's really going on. You gotta go. You gotta go, 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 baby. But guys, this is a perfect example of never changing who you are for anybody or any situation. I'm still gonna be me. I don't care if this was somebody's wedding that I was at. Like, say for instance, right? Like, if I'm with one of my friends now and they had a wedding, I would still, even if their maid of honor wasn't doing their job, I would still be like, hey, my friend just got married. What's going on? What's going on? Like, I'm ready to sit down. Like, you feel me? I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to eat, whatever. Most of the time I'm ready to eat. But I'm ready. What's going on? Okay. Like, I really you need to figure this out before I get mad real quick. Okay. But guys, for the most part, like, you got to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do for you, yourself, and I. And being 100 also starts with yourself. Because I used to give out more than I really gave to myself. And now it's like, it's equally balanced. And I'm okay with that. I show up for me. I'm honest with me. I keep it core like, hey, now you know you didn't really want to go. So you shouldn't have went. And so it seemed you didn't go. None of that experience would have happened to you at that wedding. None of that. None of that. You could have skipped that whole experience, and then you could have been doing what you was doing. What you end up doing anyways after the wedding, which was chilling, kicking it, just being spicy, but you could have just did the same thing that you was already doing. Like, you knew you didn't really want to be there, which technically I did want to be there, but I didn't want to be there on those terms. And so that's the thing, is about not the thing that I have learned and what I have worked on and what I love about me is I go where I'm celebrated. I go where I'm honored. I go where I know that I'm going to be invited to something, and I know in advance, and I'm not the last person to know. I make sure I tell all my friends, if I got something going on, baby, you gonna know a few months before it pop off. Like, hey, this is what's happening here. But I want to let you know this is what's happening here at this moment for the future moments. So that way you can be prepared, because this is what I like. I like for people to prepare me. Don't just spring some. I don't mind the spring on because I'm spontaneous. I'm an Aries. We love spontaneous things. But the problem is that when it comes to situations like that, now, if you were getting married and it was like a vacation thing, we were on vacation, you getting married, that's spontaneous. I'm okay with attending that. Like, hey, girl, you asleep, get up. I'm going to get married. Okay. I'm okay with that. The problem is when you invite me, you tell me that your wedding is going to be a different date, but then you tell everybody else that you move the date up and everybody else is dressed like your wedding, but not me. That's the problem I'm going to have. That's what I cannot accept. And so I have learned that. But guys, I really want to express to y'all about being 100. You have to do it with yourself in order to recognize it and to see if other people are being 100 with you, is to inevitably be 100 to yourself. I was always 100 with myself. I always kept it real. Even when I was in a car and I was crying, I was like, bruh, I should have never went. I would have never experienced this. I said I didn't want to go, but I already knew what it was. Like, this person has a habit of making me cry. This person has a habit of putting me down. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep being 100 to this person and they're not 100 to me? And that's fine. And so that's where I have grown at, and that's where I am excelling at. And I love it over here. But being 100, I'm not changing me for nobody else. So if you experience me, you talk to me, that was because you needed to at that moment. You maybe needed to see what a real friend was like. But after that, I got to move on. Be happy with life and be loved and be the representation of what should be the standard model of everything moving forward. I'm telling you, even some of my guy friends be like, bruh, you're a really good friend. Like, and don't accept anything less than that. And if anybody playing with you, bruh, tell them I'm gonna go completely off, because you too 100 for people. Like, you too authentic in the way that you move, the way that you talk, every single thing that you do. It's really out of pure love, and not a lot of people move like that, but you do. And I will never stop doing that because of somebody else's behavior. Whatever you got going on deep down in yourself, you continue doing that. You continue to heal. But I'm not going to sit up there and turn up because you turning up. I'm just not that person no more. I don't have the time. I'm a person I have to be honest about things. I speak truth, but I'm also a person where I've done a lot for a lot of people, and sometimes they just give out little bits. And I was able and willing to accept that years ago. I'm not willing to accept that now. So you either gotta be 100 or nothing done at all. And that's okay. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with departure. I'm okay with releasing. I'm okay with letting go. What I'm not okay is accepting anything less than what I deserve, because I put in 100. I'm always 100 with myself. And I'm a person, I'm bold. I always speak. And so if you're not doing the same thing, I gotta cut you off. That's okay. There's times where I'm like, hey, if I would have said something, that would have led to something totally different. So I'm not going to say nothing. But it doesn't mean that I didn't hear it or I didn't see it. It's just like a whole little thing per se with people, places, and things that I'm just over with. So do I keep it 100 with myself? Yes. Like, I'm able to say, like, guys, I was in a space, but I was always in the same space. Am I the same person as I was that went to that wedding today? Yes. The same exact person. Not nobody different. I'm just grown, excelled, and I'm able to communicate exactly what I need and what I'm not willing to accept. And I would say I evolved is a thing that I will say. Like, yes, I evolved, but I'm still going to be, any friend that has me in their life is still going to receive that same treatment. No different. Like, that's just who I am. I can't be anybody else other than me. But guys, like, always keep it real with yourself. Be real with yourself, core issues, but don't allow people, places, and things to change who you really are. I'm telling you, I gave you a few situations, a dating situation. Just because you out here being a hoe does not mean I have to be a hoe. You got to understand something. Just because you out here thotting and you bopping and you're used to dealing with those type of women does not mean I'm out here doing that. I might just literally be talking to one man only. But here you go thinking I'm talking to 10 million. That's your own insecurities, because that's what you're doing. But I am not in control of that. And women do the same thing to men. Men can be busy. They can only talk to one woman, and they probably think they talking to mass different women. So you gotta make sure that what are you willing to accept, like, and what you not willing to accept, baby. If I'm getting 100, whether or not you 100, I'm still gonna be 100, because that is who I am. That's what I do. I love this. I appreciate this about myself. I vibe high with it. So guys, like, take that time out to really just be 100 with yourself. Like, how can you be more 100 with yourself compared to how you're used to being? And also, like, just really taking the time out to really just love you. A moment in peace and time and space to just love on you and be 100 to yourself and be honest. Ask those questions that you really don't want to ask, but just like really show up for you to the point where it's so 100 that it reflects out and people know that they can't even come play games with you because you that 100. Okay. So keep it 100. Be 100. Okay. But let me know how y'all feel about this episode, okay? Let me know either on my webpage or hit me up on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. Y'all know I'm on all social media platforms. But let me know how you feel about the episode, okay? Are you 100? Have you been more 100 to people in your life and they have not been that 100 to you? Then why do you keep showing up for this person who's giving you 50 and you've been giving out 100? You need to do some reevaluation and see how you can get exactly what you need. You need to be around people who mimic you, who are 100 too. Not mimic you to a T, but just who are 100 too. Because that 100 plus 100 makes 200. Okay. All right, guys. I love y'all so very much. You know me. It's your girl, Pretty Red Ent, better known as Goddess Naquita. Okay. Let me know how y'all feel about the episode. But please tune in, tap in every week to the Pretty Red Ent Show.